Hello, everybody, and welcome to another vintage cube draft. Very weak pack to start. There are no fetch lands, only one fetchable land, which is Savannah, not exactly the highest pickup. The blue cards are both pretty bad. I do think Brain Geyser is decent in some decks, but it's nowhere near a first pickable card. There's no super good aggressive cards. I think the main options here are Solitude, Force of Vigor, and Firebolt, none of which are particularly exciting. I think I'm gonna take the Solitude here. Zero mana removal for any creature is great. It's also especially good against the most unfair things. Like if your opponent tinkers Blightsteel Colossus into play and you have a zero mana answer, that's pretty strong. I wouldn't fault someone for taking Firebolt. Maybe that even is the pick. No, I'm gonna take the Solitude, especially because all the other white in the pack is terrible. Loyal Retainers is not a strong card in this format, and Beaumont Courier is another good red card. White also just tends to be fairly open. Okay. This pack is much better. Force of Negation is probably the best card. If we taken the Firebolt, we could take, like, I don't know, maybe Magda. Tireless Tracker is decent. Could just take Adeline. Adeline is very good, both in mono white aggro and in more tempo-y mid-range decks. Could just take the Force of Negation and lean towards blue-white, which, as you all know, I love very much. I don't think we want the Triome. I don't think we want the Knight of the Reliquary. Yeah, I think it's between Adeline and Force of Negation. I'm going to take the Force. We could just abandon white also. This one-pick Solitude is not really pulling us in that direction. And Adeline is fine, but it's not great. If this was like Stoneforge Mystic or like Mother of Runes or a more aggressively costed card, that would be one thing. But I don't really want to take a 3-drop white card here that's not just completely game ending. So we'll take the Force. Okay, now we see a couple more white cards that are pretty strong. I think we take a Danto Vanguard. Student of Warfare is great too, but it's only good if you're basically mono white. Yeah, we'll take the Adanto. Counterspell, interesting. Yeah, I think we do take the Counterspell here. We're sort of splitting the difference between blue-white more controlling deck and a white aggressive deck, but I think a 4th pick Counterspell is enough of a sign. I would prefer to be in blue if possible. It doesn't look like white is ridiculously open here. Yeah, let's take the Counterspell. Okay, March of Otherworldly Light, Suspicious Stowaway, and Shelldock Isle. All pretty good cards. I think I'm going to take the Shelldock. I really like this card. It's not quite as good as it used to because I think there's just more fast decks now and the games don't go quite as long, but still it's a very strong card. It gives you card advantage and you can play the card at instant speed and it cheats on mana. It just does a lot of things for you, with a caveat of not doing them for the first 5 or 6 turns at least. But yeah, we'll take the Shelldock here. Good pickup. Okay, there's Soul Herder. That's interesting. I think we take that. It's a little bit early, so we can still build around this and get cards that work well with it. It doesn't work with the Dante Vanguard, but it's great with Solitude, and it's also great with, like, you know, Wall of Omens, Venser, Vendilion Click, and Spellseeker, but yeah, we'll take a Soul Herder. Okay, now we get an Arid Mesa, pretty nice pickup. It doesn't fix our mana yet, but it likely will. There's also Riftwind Cloudskate, which is good with the Soul Herder, and just a solid card, but I'd rather take the fetch. Nice. A late Spell Queller, very good sign. We will take that. Golos is solid. Natural Order is the strongest card here. And green does look pretty open. We could pivot to green, but I think blue-white is open enough that we should stay in our lane here. Now we see Brain Geyser versus Arid Mesa. Kind of interesting. Brain Geyser is fine, but I actually think I'm going to take the Savannah, or not Arid Mesa, Savannah. This is a land that we can find with our Arid Mesa, and green looks like it's fairly open. So I think I'm going to take the Savannah here and potentially move towards Bant. Yeah, that seems interesting. Nice. Immediately rewarded with 2 good green cards. Would you rather Tireless Tracker or Knight of the Reliquary? It's an interesting pick. Neither works with Spell Queller or with Soul Herder or with Force of Negation. Knight of the Reliquary can find Shelldock Isle. But Tireless Tracker is a stronger card. I think I'm going to take the Tracker here. Kind of close pick, but Tireless Tracker is a very good card. Okay, so interesting start. Bant. Now we'll take Pest Infestation. Eldomir's Call is an option too. I think Pest Infestation is a bit better though. Yeah, we'll take this card. Now we get Hydroid Krasis. Nice pickup. Green is definitely open. This is the lane that we should be in. We'll take the Krasis. We could just abandon white and go just blue-green, but I do like having access to white removal. But like right now, Soul Herder hasn't really gotten there. We're moving away from the Danto Vanguard type of deck, and Queller is good. Queller's the only white card that we definitely would want here, but we don't necessarily need it. So we'll see how open white looks in packs 2 and 3. Alright, I don't think we're interested in Pattern of Rebirth, so we'll just pick up a Relic. Not bad as a sideboard card. There's a Lumberjack versus a Signet. We'll speculate on the Lumberjack. It is decent if we end up playing 4-color Omnath. We have 1 Arid Mesa, and there's even a red-green land. Okay. So, a few different directions we could go from here. Oh, wow. Well, we're playing red now. Minsk and Boo is very, very good. Breeding Pool would be amazing. We cannot find it with Arid Mesa, but still, Breeding Pool would be a great pickup. But easy Minsk and Boo here, and we pivot towards red. Yeah, still TBD which colors we're playing exactly. Ideally, we do play 4-color, but we need to get a lot of fixing to make that work. Sylvan Library would be good too, but easy Minsk and Boo. That's a great pickup. And now we see Ketria Triome. Kind of the perfect land for us. We could potentially just cut white and go Teamer. This is findable off of Arid Mesa and adds all of our colors. There's also Stomping Ground, which is great, but I would rather have the Ketria Triome here. I do think we're likely to want to play blue. Really good first 2 cards out of this pack. I do still want to make the Solitude work in particular if possible, but we'll see. There's Spar's Headquarters, which helps. There's also Birds of Paradise, though. Some good red stuff. I think I like taking the bird here. Birds of Paradise is amazing, especially if we're playing multiple colors. Alright, yeah, we'll take the birds. Pretty good pickup. Ooh, late Oko. Okay. Yeah, the green pivot is working out very well. Jace the Mind Sculptor is pretty strong as well, but easy Oko, that's a great pickup. Now we see Fiery Confluence, Oust, Lightning Helix. Confluence is the best card, but double red's a little tough. It kind of depends if we're playing white or not. If we want to just go full on Teamer, we could take the Confluence. And I think Confluence is the pick. This card is just amazing. Yeah, we'll take a Fiery Confluence here. Ooh, and then we see Teferi. There's also Utopia Sprawl, but I think I like taking the Teferi here. And then at least splashing white for a little bit. Yeah, very, very strong pickup. And another Teferi, also some fixing. And yeah, all right. I mean, we're just going at this point. 4-color Super Friends with all my favorite cards. Oko, Teferi, Minsk and Boo, other Teferi. Pretty sweet. Probably not playing Soul Herder at this point, but we will play Queller. There's the Omnath and Taiga and Noble Hierarch. Oh my god. Mystic Confluence too. This is looking great. I think we're going to take the Hierarch. This is a very strong piece of fixing for us. I love Taiga, but Noble Hierarch is also fixing. That accelerates too. Now I'll take a Venser. Solid pickup. May or may not make the main deck. I'm loving the look of this deck so far. The Force of Negation and Solitude may be a little tough as we're playing so many colors. So we'll see if we're able to get there on that. But I really, really like the look of this. We have passed a couple fetchable lands, which could come back to bite us, but we're going to really prioritize that in pack 3. So we saw Kiki Jiki earlier. We could take Pestermite and try to wheel a Kiki. But honestly, I think I'd rather just take Koma. Great sideboard card for the grindy matchups. Ooh, Spar's Headquarters on the wheel. That's a great pickup. I would love a Faithless Looting or a Huntmaster of the Fells, but let's not be too greedy. We'll take the good fetchable land. And now we have 2 blue-green fetchable lands, which is great because we're kind of base blue-green, and more fetches will fill this out very nicely. Okay, there's a scrub land if we want to be 5-color, but I think I'd rather just take a Karakas. Very good pickup. There's Thespian Stage, but I think we take the Sower. I love 4-color decks. I don't know if we're going to wheel the Omnath, but we are Omnath colors, so I would love to get that if possible. We do get the Dark Depths here, but I don't even think if we had Dark Depths and Thespian Stage, we still wouldn't even play it. So, yeah. Alright, fetch land. That is amazing. Dismember is also pretty strong, and we are light on removal. But yeah, easy fetch land. That's great. It can find Savannah, and it can find both of these. It cannot find untapped blue or untapped red yet. Hopefully we'll get there. I'll also note that Loran is very good with Caracas. That's a way to just blow up artifacts and enchantments every single turn. So this is a card we'll be looking at on the wheel. Much better than Reclamation Sage for this deck. It's also a white card for Solitude, but easy fetch land here. That's very much appreciated. It can find untapped green on turn 1, which is good because we have these two guys. Hopefully we get some untapped red on turn 1 as well for the Lumberjack. I think we passed both Stomping Ground and Taiga though, which will make that a little harder. Okay, here we see Nahiri, which is not bad. There's also Ignoble Hierarch though, which I think is the pick. It does not add blue or white, but still, it's a dork that adds multiple colors that we're playing. Maybe we can wield the Nahiri. This deck looks great. Alright, here we have Treachery, just a great card. Bone Crusher Giant, also very strong. And Dam, a board sweeper, versus Tundra, which would help the mana a lot. And I think I'll take the Tundra here. It's kind of close, but we don't have a good... Like, this means both of these can make untapped blue. Makes Counterspell a lot easier to cast, and Counterspell is very good. Also, I think we should get Venser into this deck. Venser could be pretty good here, and it's a blue card for Force. Yeah, I'll take the Tundra. These sorts of 4-color decks typically struggle against combo decks, so I like the idea of having some ways to interact on the stack to solidify those matchups. Okay, let's just take a Botanical Sanctum here. Like, a lot of cards that are potentially playable. When you're playing 4 colors, every pack is going to have some cards that are playable for you, but we'll just solidify the mana base a bit more. I want to have as many sources of untapped green mana on turn 1 as possible. Okay, now we see a Plateau. More good fixing. Could take Urza, but yeah, let's just take the Plateau. And now we're getting to the point where our mana is set and we need to prioritize our spells. So like we could take Sunbaked Canyon, but in this spot we're going to take the Chandra. Good pickup, another Planeswalker to go with this Super Friends theme. There's Splinter Twin, but there's also Ren and Realmbreaker and Temple Garden. We have Savannah already. I think we can take the Ren and Realmbreaker here. Because we do need to get some more playables. We could play some of these cards in the sideboard, but they're not super exciting. Yeah, let's take the Ren. Playing Ren on turn 3 or turn 2 off of one of our dorks is pretty strong. Now we see Knight of Autumn, which I think is better than Questing Beast for this deck. Questing Beast is great. It is also a combo with Caracas, kind of, but I love Knight of Autumn. Very versatile and interactive. It's also another white card for Solitude. Okay, Loran doesn't come around, but we do see the Rex Sage. We just took Knight of Autumn, but I think I still like the Rex Sage here. Could also take Boseiju. It depends on how many spells we need. This is probably a 17-land deck, so we play 6 more cards. We need 3 more playables. Okay, let's take the Rex Sage then. Leovold would be nice, but we don't have a black fetchable land. We're not an Arcane Proxy deck. We're not a Shinobi deck yet. I think I'll take the Leovold speculatively. If we can wheel a black fetchable land, we could potentially get this in the deck. So we need 2 more spells. Right now, how close is Soul Herder to being good? It's only good with Knight of Autumn, Reclamation Sage, Venser, and Solitude. That's not bad, but I think it's probably not quite enough. Okay, we're not a crop rotation deck. Let's take the Dam. Very good sideboard card. I don't think I want to main deck it since we have a lot of creatures ourselves, but great to have access to against aggressive decks or mono green. Okay, Cedar Wayfinder's solid. There's also Razorverge Thicket, and I honestly think I like taking the Thicket here. Yeah, we don't have any particular combos with Cedar Wayfinder. It's fine as a value play, but we don't have Uro, so I'll fortify the mana base a bit. Now we see Deep Forest Hermit, but I actually think I like taking the Ballista here. Pretty good removal. And we'll take a temporary lockdown for the board, I think. Close pick. But this is a really good card to have access to in some matchups. And last pick, Court of Bounty. Actually, that's going to be our last card. Court of Bounty seems pretty good here, especially if we ramp into it. Okay, interesting deck. I think we run it like this. Could also maybe do this in the main deck. to insulate ourselves a little bit better against creature decks since our removal is weak. Yeah, that seems better. And we'll bring in Court of Bounty against decks that can't attack us well. Alright, this deck looks very sweet. Solitude's going to be a little bit hard to pitch with only 4 other white cards, but it's totally hard castable, so I think that's fine. Let's sort by color. So it looks like we're base green. 11 green cards. 9 blue cards. 5 white, and 4 red. So base green, then blue. This gives us for green 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's solid. For blue, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Solid. For white, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, very consistent. For red, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me, 6. Okay, 6 red, and then yeah. So okay, even for all of them except for red. The red is a little bit dicey, especially since we have a couple double red cards, but we do have 2 dorks that add red. How many mountains do we have for the lumberjack? Or I guess no, this counts forests. We do have a lot of forests. I think we can run it like this. Maybe we do need 1 more mountain. Okay, I'm going to count 1 island for 1 mountain, I think. It's close. I guess we actually do have a couple double blue cards. Maybe we cut a plains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think that's fine, actually. Alright, this deck seems sweet. We'll run it like this. Tons of potential for turn 1 dork, turn 2 planeswalker. We can just go like turn 2 Oko, turn 3 Minsk and Boo, turn 4 Teferi, which is just absolutely devastating. This deck seems sweet. I'll see you in round 1. Alright, we're on the draw for game 1 against Ski Log 2004. They're a high roller over there with a 6. Hopefully that doesn't mean they turn 1 channel us. We're hoping for one of our 4 turn 1 accelerants into a powerful turn 2 play. And we don't have that, but we definitely have a keep. We have all of our colors and some solid plays starting on turn 3. Hopefully they don't get out of the gate too fast. I think we want to get a Ketria Triumph with the Windswept Heath, and then we'll have pretty much perfect mana. Could also save this for Tireless Tracker. No, I think I am going to grab that Ketria Triumph and save this to potentially cycle it. Playing against black-white, huh? Tidehall or Sculler. Okay. Probably take an Oko. And this is where the relative lack of removal does hurt. We don't have many good ways to remove this. If they're playing black-white aggro, we can bring in Dam and maybe even temporary lockdown out of the board. So if we draw another, okay, interesting draw. Let's play that. Do we want to hold Spar's Headquarters to cycle or just play it? I think I'll actually hold it to cycle here. We could get punished for this if we just draw like tons of action in a row, but if we draw that, then I think we'll win the game either way, most likely. We'll take 2, no problem there, and then see what their follow-up is. Rotting Regisaur, interesting. Okay, I think we're going to just hold up mana against this. So we'll pass, let them discard a card. If they're playing Reanimator, this could be kind of bad, but based on the start, it looks like they might be more of an aggressive deck. Enlightened Tutor, interesting. So they could get Animate Dead here. If they do go for the reanimation stuff, we have Spell Queller up, but The Spell Queller is pretty fragile against the black deck. They're likely to be able to kill it pretty soon. They get Phyrexian Metamorph. Interesting. And they discard Yawgmoth's Will, okay. I think they know about the Venser, so yeah, they're not going to attack with the Tide Hollow. I think I'm just going to bounce this with Venser. Or we could just let this happen and then end of turn bounce the Tide Hollow Scholar so we get Oko down. I think I like the tempo play of just bouncing this, though. Gaining the edge on the board. We don't need the Oko. We have other good plays. This means that they can't use Metamorph to copy. I mean, they can Metamorph copy Tide Hollow Scholar if they want to, but that's not that scary. They don't even have the land. Ooh, good draw. Let's just blow up the Scholar, I think. And make a bunch of dudes. Yeah, this seems good. We could wait and try to blow up the Metamorph as well, but they could copy their Scholar, take the Pest Infestation. We don't really want to deal with that, so we'll just gain a massive advantage on board. And given the way this is developed, we kind of wish that we had played the Spar's Headquarters earlier since we don't have 6 mana for next turn. But like I said, if we draw tons of gas in a row, we're going to win either way. So we don't really need to worry about that scenario. So they have Regisaur. Okay, they play Exhume to bring back the Scholar. That's totally fine. So they take the Oko again, no surprise there. If we draw land, we can play both of these. Fiery Confluence, interesting. Part of me wants to just blow this up and hit them. We could play Ren and Realmbreaker and minus and hope to hit land, which would give us Spell Queller. I think that is what I'm going to do here. We just don't care about killing this that much right now. Alright, milling over double counterspell, but we do hit our land. So we'll hit them for 2 and pass with Queller up. And then next turn we can kill their Scholar, hit them for 4, and then attack them with tons of creatures and almost kill them. We'll have 4 pests plus 2/2 power creatures, that's 8, plus 3 more for Ren, so we can hit for 11 next turn, plus 4 from this, so we're going to actually put them to 1. It seems pretty hard to imagine a way they can win from this position. Good draw again, but I think we're still just going to go more aggressive here. Go Confluence. Destroy target artifact, 2 damage each opponent twice. So once again, if we had sequenced our lands differently, we could have played the Oko this turn, but we put them to 1 either way. Yeah. So pretty solid win against Black-White. They're kind of a mix of aggro and Reanimator. Either way, I think we do want the Dam. Let's also bring in the Relic. I don't think we want the Lockdown, though. What do we not want? Sower definitely seems good. I think Confluence is solid. We have a lot of ways to kill artifacts and enchantments. I don't know if we need all of them. Although, if they're playing Enlightened Tutor, maybe that means these cards are good. I think we can trim a Ballista. And maybe we just don't play the Dam, although it's a good answer to Regisaur beatdown plan. Yeah, I do kind of want to keep this in. I think I'll cut it, though. We do have such a high creature count. Yeah, we'll keep our ways to kill artifacts and enchantments. Not 100% sure how to sideboard here, but I think this is a good way to do it. Okay, good hand. This hand can play turn 2 Minsk and Boo. Turn 1 Lumberjack, turn 2 tap land, which will immediately sacrifice. Yeah, I'm going to go for that. Very high upside hand. If they kill this Lumberjack, then we're pretty slow. And if they can kill the Minsk and Boo, we're also kind of slow because we're sacrificing a land to do this. But good chance this just wins. Do they have the Scholar? Blood Artist, okay. That, I'm not going to say the game is just over here, but turn 2 Minsk and Boo wins a lot of games. So we'll hit for 4 on turn 2, not bad. It would be nice to draw another forest so we could develop more, but it's possible we win with just this Minskin Boo. Vindicate on the Minskin Boo would be bad. We still have a 4/4 which can pressure them, but really hoping that they don't have it. They do have the Vindicate, bummer. So that slows us down a lot. We do draw a forest though. Pretty good. I think we're just going to go forest, hierarch, and then swing for 5. No need to sack this land right now. So we're killing them pretty quickly. Unfortunately, Ignoble Hierarch does not add blue or white, which are the 2 colors we need. Noble Hierarch would be much better here, which is an argument for playing the Birds of Paradise, but I think the Exalted trigger is actually pretty valuable here. Although with that being said, maybe it's actually not, because we could just swing with a Lumberjack and hit for 5 either way. So yeah, we were probably supposed to play the Bird last turn. Yeah, because now we can't play either of our 3 drops. Slight misplay there. Hopefully that doesn't cost us too much. Collective Brutality. Okay, they can see our hand, which they can't take anything from, but they do kill the Hierarch. Given this, actually, it's good that we held the Bird, because now we get to deploy our source of blue and white mana after they use their removal spell. They get to go back up to 12, but they're still dying to this Boo pretty quickly. Counterspell, pretty far away from playing that. Okay, we'll take a Solitude, then we'll drop the Birds into play and hit for 5. So if they don't kill the Bird, we can hold up Counterspell next turn. This feels like a key turn of the game. If they're not able to do something significant right now, then we'll just be able to hold up Counterspell for anything relevant and win with this Boo. Even though they were able to kill the Minskin Boo the turn after we played it, just hitting for 4 immediately and making this beefy creature could be enough to take us to victory. This deck will crush Control if we ever play it. Coma and Court of Bounty are both just instant I win cards. No play. Alright, let's just swing with both of these. They chump block, that's fine. Now we don't have mana for both of these two, Teferi and Counterspell. We have enough blue mana, but we need a white additionally. These 2 lands don't really help us, but that's fine. We can just hold up Counterspell and then win. Almost definitely. Wait, what? They have 35 cards in their deck? Okay, they sided up to like 48 cards or something. That's kind of hilarious. They had 12, yeah, they had 47 cards in their deck. Alright, well, pretty easy round 1. Here we are on the trophy leaderboard. 1 more trophy will vault us up to here. Solid 8th place. Not my best work, but we'll take it, especially since I missed the first week and a bit. See you in round 2. Alright, back for round 2. On the draw once again. Our die roll skills are not on today, but good hand nonetheless. We'll definitely keep. Opponent on 6, and a basic island. Ooh, that's not cool. No mocks allowed. Turn 1 Night's Whisper, so making up the mulligan pretty quickly. Rexage was a great... Oh, nope. That was close. Almost forgot to play the Birds of Paradise, but we do get it in there. So we'll pass back, and then we could either go for Spell Queller or Reclamation Sage next turn, but I'm leaning towards the Rec Sage. Although if they pass with mana up, maybe not. Yeah, let's not play into Counter Magic. They're not F6 tier, so we're just going to pass, hold up Queller, and then hopefully we can go Quell their play next turn into Rec Sage. Okay, I'm just going to Quell this. I don't view Queller as a hard counter. If we were like holding hard Counter Magic, we could potentially hold it to try and be ahead on board. But Venser means that we're not too afraid of them tapping out for a sorcerer speed threat here. And now the onus is on them to make a play. If they tap out, we get Direct Sage. Everflowing Chalice, okay. They're still leaving up mana, though. So maybe we do just continue holding up Karakas. Or holding up Venser. Yeah, I think I like that plan, actually. Does Windswept Heath have another untapped blue source that we can get? We know we have tapped blue sources, but I think the Tundra might be our only untapped one. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to play Karakas then. We still have double blue because of the Birds of Paradise, of course, and attack them for 2 and pass. They don't play anything, so I'm going to go for a Venser just to bounce one of their things, or bounce Karakas, I guess. They bounce the Venser. This is a totally fine exchange for us. So let's play Heath, play Hierarch, and pass with Venser up again. And I'm hoping that they don't play something we need to Venser so we can just get another blue source here, but it's fine. We have the Noble Hierarch as an additional blue source now, too. Arcane Proxy. I think I will go for the Venser here. And they can play it again if they want. Or no, they don't. They don't have double blue. Okay, they just pass. That's great. So we'll go land, Reclamation Sage, blow up their Mox Jet. And we don't have Venser up this turn, but we get to put them back on mana and then hit them for 4. Pass back. Now, if they have a board sweeper, it's kind of bad, but I don't think they're likely to here. They get a swamp. That's interesting. So no double white or double black, so I'm not too afraid of a sweeper. If they just replay the Arcane Proxy, this is totally fine. Yeah, this doesn't do much. Do we want to bounce Venser end of turn? Okay, they just concede. Sweet. So, played against Esper Control. This is probably a matchup where we do want the Court of Bounty. I think we also want Coma. Ballista's fine, but not essential. I don't think we need Sower. Yeah, I think I will cut the Ballista here. And we'll run it back like this. Alright, I hope we get to play Court of Bounty. Court of Bounty, then put Coma into play. Sounds close. I like that we have Force of Negation. We don't have any castable spells yet, but if we find one land that is castable, we could mulligan for something more explosive, but I think I'm going to keep this hand on the strength of Force of Negation. Especially on the draw, having access to a free counterspell is very big. Okay, Chandra is probably the worst draw on the deck. A double red card when we have no red lands, but that's okay. We're hoping to find any land or one of our 3 1-mana dorks. Nice. That's going to get Catria Triome, which gives us at least one of all of our colors. We still won't have double blue or double red yet. Cathar Commando, that's fine. It does pressure us a bit, but not too much. Game 1 they were playing like an Esper control deck, but if they were playing a little bit more creatures, then we can bring the Walking Ballista and potentially the Dam back in. Krasis, alright. Just going to play Tracker. fairly likely to get killed. In fact, I'll just trade it with the Cathar Commando here, I think. So it's possible they sided out blue and just sideboarded it into a more aggressive black-white deck, or they just don't have the right colors and they're digging for blue source here. So yeah, I think I will accept this trade, especially given that we have no lands in hand. Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, we have Rexage to kill their equipment, but that is a solid 2 for 1. They get Sword of Fire and Ice, and then spin the top, alright? Looks like they found their land. Alright, come on, deck, give me land. Island. Not the best land. I would prefer a red source. Okay, so do we want to play Krasis here? We could hold up Force of Negation, because if they play land, they could play an equipped sword in the same turn. But I think they probably don't have the land. I think they use the top to find their 4th land, which means their top card is the top. So I think we can afford to do this. It's also not the end of the game if they get one Sword of Fire and Ice hit. Another way to blow up the sword. That's good. So we'll play this and pass. Once again, hoping to draw land. They are going to get to put in a sword end of turn and get in a hit through our Force of Negation and our Sorcery Speed removal, unless we find a red source for Chandra. No red source for Chandra. However, this can block. Yeah, I think I'm just going to actually play this as a 4-3, which can block the protection from blue and red Stoneforge Mystic. Kind of funny to go for counters here when we know that they have artifacts and enchantments, but with 2 other ways to blow up artifacts and enchantments, I think this is fine. So they put in the sword end of turn, then they untap, and if they go for the equip, we'll just try to trade. And if they have a way to kill the Knight of Autumn, we can stop it with Force of Negation. Unless they have, like, Shriek Maw. Spinning the top again, okay. If we draw land, what do we want to do? There's arguments for lots of different things, but I think I'm just going to Reclamation Sage kill the sword. Although maybe we just don't care about it that much. Solitude, fair enough. That does get there. They take out our knight, then they do get one hit in, they can kill our Krasis. Yeah, solid play from the opponent, sure, for sure. Solitude gets around the Force of Negation well. But we're still in a pretty good position. We'll take this hit, lose our Krasis, they get to draw their top again. But they still 2 for 1 themselves to do this, and then we have multiple ways to deal with the sword. Can we draw land? Nice. So let's go Pest Infestation to kill this and this. They can, of course, use the top, but then they're just tapping it to draw a card and redrawing it, and that constrains their mana a little bit. Force of Negation. Wow, okay. Back-to-back 0 mana interactive spells to keep their Sword of Fire and Ice hitting us. We're going to take one more hit for 5, but then I think we'll just be able to stabilize with Reclamation Sage. Was not expecting Solitude into Force there. Very strong plays from the opponent. Chalice, that's fine. So even if we draw a land, we're just going to go for Reclamation Sage here. We got to get rid of this Sword of Fire and Ice. But land would give us Hardcast Force. Lumberjack, okay. Pretty good draw, actually. That means we can cast Coma next turn. So our 3rd way to kill artifacts and enchantments finally does get the job done. We'll drop the Lumberjack into play and pass, representing 8 mana next turn. Now that they used their Solitude, Coma may be able to take over the game. They could have more instant speed removal, but hopefully not. It also might be better to just go Chandra into Teferi next turn. So they tapped. Okay, no. I was thinking it was possible that they had another sword, but they have Thirst for Discovery instead. I'm not going to force the negation this. It is a pretty good card, but still, I think our cards are better here. And they top again, sure. Alright, this is fine. Okay, so let's play Chandra plus for mana. So we'll go white, sacrifice this for red, red, red. Play Chandra. Plus for mana. Play Teferi. Spell Pierce is already gone. They pitched it to Force of Negation. We'll plus. Not going to play that because we want to hold up Hardcast Force of Negation. So we'll pass and then untap Spar's Headquarters plus Caracas. Strong play. Orcish Lumberjack is putting in work here, even in the mid to late game. It's obviously great for turn 2 Minsc and Boo, but it's pretty good in the late game as well. Elspeth Conquers Death. Okay, that's definitely something we want to counter. They don't have a counter back. That's great. Nice. And they just concede. So, smooth sailing. We're yet to drop a game. 2-0-4-0. I will see you in the finals as we pursue trophy number 27 to leapfrog all three of these folks. All right, back for the finals, and we choose a good time to win the die roll for the last round, and a great hand. We'll keep this. Turn 1 Birds, turn 2 Counterspell, turn 3 Minsc and Boo on the play. Pretty strong curve. If we play Savannah Birds and then they kill the birds, we don't have double blue for turn 2 Counterspell, which is a slight argument in favor of just going turn 1 Shelldock Isle, but I think it's still worth it to try to develop our mana. If this was Modern, like, the funny thing about playing Modern is you just know your opponent always has a removal spell, so I actually think I might just play the tap land here, but in Vintage Cube, there's removal in your decks, but you're not super likely to kill it on turn 1. Of course, here they do have it, so punished. Mono red for the finals is not great for us. I'm going to play the Ketria Triome here. It gives us our red source for Minsc and Boo. Porcelain Legionnaire, okay. Yeah, this is not a good matchup for us. We have some tools, but we don't have Omnath or Ura, which are some of the best forms of life gain. So that's not great. Take 3. No play. Interesting. Okay, I think given that, we will just play this. I was planning on holding mana for Counterspell, but given that we can kill this and keep a threat on the board, I think it's better. And I'm going to hold the Minsc and Boo. Playing Minsc and Boo into open mana is pretty bad against red. They can just bolt this in response to the trigger. And we still kind of get a 2-for-1. We do get a 1-1 hamster out of the deal, but Minsc and Boo can be far more than Boo could ever be on its own. Alright, be gone, Legionnaire. Pretty great that they didn't play anything on turn 3. They could have been holding up Burn. They could also just have tons of 4-drops in their hand, which would be a little scary. I have no idea. Okay, they incinerate our thing in response. Alright, we'll just bolt their face. I don't think there's anything they could have that would save their Legionnaire here. They do tap out, so we get to resolve the Minsc and Boo. Could also wait a little longer, though. No, I think it's worth it to just get the Minskin Boo down. Well, we know we have a window. Even if they're able to kill this, which is fairly likely, we get a 4/4 out of the deal. What they can do is just, if they play land, they can swing at Minskin Boo and then sacrifice their, they just Fire Blast the Minskin Boo in response. Okay, that's fine. I mean, yeah, that's kind of a 3-for-1. It's like a 3-for-half, honestly. So pretty good exchange for us, especially when we're still at 17. Unfortunately, we cannot make a big Crisis off of this Shelldock Isle, but we'll take it to Fairy and pass back. And now, next turn we can play Sower of Temptation with Counterspell up, and they're pretty constrained on mana now. So I think we're ahead, but it's far from over. Wow, they voluntarily go down to 1 land on turn 5. And then hit us for 2. This is fine. Another land is not really what we wanted there. So I'll Sower, take over this, and then we have 5 power on board, so we actually have a pretty solid attack force. Especially given that we're holding up Counterspell and that they only have 2 lands. Using Fire Blast in that way is a nice tempo play, but it also puts you pretty far back on mana. Alright, I will Counterspell this. And now they're almost dead in 2 attacks. Seasoned Pyromancer, okay. That's fine. Alright, we'll hit them for 4, and then do we just jam Sage as a 2/1? I think I'm going to hold it. There's an argument to playing it, but we're attacking in the air either way. And there's a lot of artifacts they could play here that we would care about. Most notably Umezawa's Jite. Alright, big moment in the game here. What do they have? Ragavan, alright. And a Copter, nice. Maximum reward for holding the Rec Sage. Even draw Knight of Autumn. Okay, so we'll go Reclamation Sage, kill your Copter. Then I'm going to attack with everything, including the Boo. Threaten to put them to 2. Their deck looks good. They have lots of burn. Smuggler's Copter's great. Ragavan's great. Seasoned Pyromancer. So their deck looks good. It will be very nice to be able to steal game 1. And then hopefully we can win one of the 2 sideboard games. They take it all. Then I'm going to play Knight of Autumn as a 4/3. Often we'll want to gain life in this matchup, but in this position, I think I'd rather just try to close out the game. They have 2 cards in the library, so we're getting close to Teferi, but we're not going to get there because they concede. So, pretty good start. We're up a game in the finals. Let's bring in Dam, let's bring in Temporary Lockdown, and let's maybe bring in Primal Command. It does gain life. This stuff all seems bad. What do we not want? Honestly, everything here seems pretty good. We could trim some of the Planeswalkers, like Minskin Boo, honestly, not the best here. Sower is also pretty bad. It was good there, but it's very vulnerable to their removal, so I think that is 1 cut. Turn 1 Ragavan's a big problem for this deck. Maybe we cut Ren and Realmbreaker. Yeah, Ren is just not amazing on the draw. And we'll run it back like this. No Primal Command. Alright, really hoping for no turn 1 Ragavan. If they do have it, hopefully we have Solitude plus a white card to keep pace on board. But hopefully they just don't have a 1-drop, and we do. This hand is not great. We don't have white mana. We don't have a play. Yeah, I think we can do better than this. Alright, this hand isn't great, but I think it is slightly better. We have all of our colors. We have Solitude in case we can find a white card. And Pest Infestation is pretty strong in the matchup. No Ragavan, please. Beaumont Courier. Okay, that's good, but not nearly as good. And we draw the dam. Good draw. Funnily enough, it's for all intents and purposes, it's a white card for us. We're only ever casting this for 2 white, but it doesn't count as a white card for Solitude, so hopefully we don't end up needing to pitch this. Also, hopefully we can find a second white source. Alright, Copperline Gorge pass. Chandra is a pretty good draw as far as draws go, but I would definitely rather a white source still. They don't get to use their mana here. And they tap out for Chandra. Alright, this is fine. They get to make 2 1/1s. We get to kill the Beaumont Courier and make some 1/1s of our own. Hierarch's a pretty good draw, but I think we're still going to take this turn to Pest Infestation. I don't want to let them refuel with the Beaumont. And now we're hoping they play something that Chandra can answer well. Like they tap out for a Rampaging Ferocidon or something like that. If they just instantly sack the Sunbaked Canyon, that would be great for us too. Rabblemaster. Okay, that's pretty good for us. I mean, they can kill it. We'll trade with a Goblin token, gain 1. Then we can kill the Goblin Rabblemaster. They can kill our Chandra. That's fine. Yeah, I think that is the play. We could also play the tap line, which would guarantee us one of these white cards next turn. But we're going to save Solitude and try and have that be our last spell when they're out of answers for it. And we definitely want to take this Rabblemaster off the board with our deck that's a little bit weak on removal. So we'll pass. Leave this pass token back. They can use their Chandra to make 2 1/1s and send them both at our Chandra, which will kill our Chandra, but then we don't need to use the pass token. And yeah, I think this is I guess if we basically the question is, would we trade 1 loyalty on the Chandra for 1 life of ours? It's kind of close. Because if we attacked the Chandra down to 3, then they could send one of their pests at or one of their Chandra tokens at us, and then we could attack their Chandra down to 1 next turn, but we're still not killing it, so I think saving the 1 life is fine. I send both of these here. Our poor Chandra goes the way of the dodo. And now we can beat this Chandra without too much of a problem. The question is, how much follow-up do they have? And is their follow-up soft to these 2 cards? Direfleet Daredevil, flashing back Pest Infestation. Okay, sure. They can make 2 more 1/1s. Then I think we just set up for a dam next turn. Yeah, I think that's probably the best line. Could also go for Solitude this turn. Honestly, that seems better. Let's go for Solitude. We can gain some life, get ahead on board, and then on our turn we can play Noble Hierarch and potentially gain a lot more life. If they have a way to kill the Solitude at instant speed, it's pretty bad. But what they're likely going to do is just make 1/1s and then send everything in. And we can play Solitude to exile the Direfleet Daredevil and then block their pests. And Solitude even threatens to kill their Chandra on the backswing with Exalted. So let's grab a Tundra with this. Cast Solitude, which at the very least will be a 2 for 1, and then hopefully much more. And I will block the pest on their pest, clear the board as much as possible. Solitude. Wrecking red decks ever since Modern Horizons 2 came out. Boom, boom, and Solitude. If they have a burn spell, we want it to at least be sorcery speed, so we get to kill the pest token first and gain 3 life. If they have Incinerate, they can do this. Dismember, alright, fair enough. That's pretty bad for us. Not game ending. I think we're going to take this hit. down to 9 so that we can hit back the Chandra down to 2. They have 3 cards. We can beat the Chandra, but they have more action. Okay, that's bad. We need to find something good. That is something good. In fact, that lets us just kill the Chandra. So we're going to go Oko, turn this into a 3/3, and then attack with Exalted to kill Chandra. They can hit back to put the Oko to 1, but they cannot kill it on board at least. And then we can set up to Dem and sweep their board next turn. And the Bloodfeather Phoenix can't block, so we're going to get to kill the Chandra. Unless they have Fire Blast again. They do have Fire Blast. Interesting. Okay. So, now they can kill our Oko no matter what. Even if we play a Chump Blocker. Because we cannot block the Flyer, and they can hit Oko for exactly 5. Right? 3 1/1s plus 2 in the air, that's 5, yeah. So let's pass, hold the Hierarch. But now the Chandra is actually a huge problem. And we're probably going to have to settle this in game 3. The back-to-back cheap removal spells hurts a lot there. 1 mana removal spell for Solitude and a 0 mana removal spell for our Pest. But it's not totally over. They're gonna kill the Oko and put us to 9. Then we sweep their board, and then it's just like Chandra versus the top of our deck. And if we can find Teferi to tuck this or something, then we could turn it around. Hydroid Krasis would probably be our best draw. They do have a lot of removal though. Which is fine. That's why we cut the Sower of Temptation. Removal isn't amazing against our deck, but when they're able to stick a Planeswalker and then use their removal spells to protect their Planeswalker while getting value every turn, that's where it gets a little scary. We're really hoping for them to play a creature here. At least one creature. Chandra had been around since turn 3, I think. No, maybe since turn 4. Yep. Urza's Saga. Oh, man. Okay. And a Pyromancer, draw 2. Yeah, this game is going to be decided in game 3. Or this match will be. It's possible if they draw literally nothing for the rest of the game and we could stack our deck that we could win, but it'll take something close to that to make it even possible here. But it starts with sweeping their board and then playing Noble Hierarch. Oh. Is it better to do that first? No, let's sweep the board first. Then we get the Hierarch down and pass. And then if we draw land, you can play Krasis for 6 next turn, gaining 3. And then if their plan next turn is just to make a Saga token, a 1/1 Saga token, and hit us down to 7, that's very beatable. These pests are so ugly looking. Alright, Hierarch go. Don't love our position, but it's not over. We just need them to be a little bit flooded. Hydroid Krasis can be a huge threat. They can use this to flashback the... Yeah, they can use this to flashback Dismember and kill our Hierarch if they want to, but I think they're more likely to just make 1/1s and attack. I don't really know which we would prefer. Black Lotus, jeez. I think it's unlikely they can do anything with that Black Lotus, but they do sack it. And to dash Ragavan, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, not looking good. Their deck is broken. I can't believe they have Black Lotus too. So we take the Ragavan hit, which will also grow their constructs. They're going to make 2 1/1s, probably. Or maybe they're debating dismembering the Hierarch. I think we want them to dismember the Hierarch at this point, because that means dismember's out of their graveyard, so they cannot kill our Krasis. What would be really bad is if we don't draw land, then we play a 5/5 Krasis, and they can just kill it for 1 mana. Alright, so they are going to go for this. Hierarch down. We're going to take 2 down to 7. They get a treasure token. It's very unlikely they're going to hit anything they can cast that's super relevant off the Ragavan. They could take, like, Orcish Lumberjack if they get it, but that's fine. Knight of Autumn. That would have been a really good draw. They can't cast it here, but I'm bummed that we can't play that. And we draw Caracas, okay. We could leave up... Is it actually better to leave up Caracas and only play 2/2 Krasis? I think so, or 4/4 Krasis. We're only getting 2 cards either way. I think it actually is better here. Although, with that being said, if they have a third... So I was assuming that they only have 2 artifacts here with Urza Saga, which means that we'll be able to block the construct profitably. If they have a third 0 or 1 mana artifact other than Beaumont Courier and Black Lotus, then it's pretty bad that our Krasis is only a 4/4. Also, pretty bad to draw 2 lands there, of course. So this is the moment of truth. Do they have another cheap artifact? If they have Mox and Black Lotus, sometimes you just get Vintage Cubed. Okay, they failed to find. That was what we expected. Then we have... Yeah, so they don't have any attacks here. I mean, they can make 1/1s. They could hit us for 2 at the cost of their construct. Okay, looks like they are going for this. So we get maximum rewarded for holding up Caracas to bounce Ragavan. Then they make 1/1s. We bounce the Ragavan, block here, take 2 down to 7. Block here, and then their construct goes down to a 2/2, so if we kill their Chandra, we're only taking 2 on board. So actually, we're in a decent spot here. Even if we brick on this draw step, this Krasis is stabilizing very well, and we're out of burn range still. Any spell here would be huge. Of course, we just draw a land, but I think that's okay. We're going to kill their Chandra. Caracas is going to keep their Ragavan at bay. We can afford to take 1 hit for 2 and go to 5. They could top deck Fiery Confluence. I mean, there's always things that they could have when you're not playing a deck with counterspells, but you gotta like this position. They do also have Seasoned Pyromancer, so they will eventually win if we brick for 2 or 3 more draws in a row, but we've seen a very disproportionate number of lands in the deck already, so it's pretty likely we'll find some action soon, and pretty much any draw, even like an Orcish Lumberjack here, would do something. We finally get to remove this Chandra after it remains in play for 5 turns. And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lands out of our deck. So only 6 remaining out of 21 cards. Caracas holding back the Ragavan is very nice here. And there's so many draws that just win. Either Teferi would basically win the game. Counterspell would put us very ahead. Anything that makes blockers for this Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, they don't even go for the Ragavan because they want to make Pyromancer tokens. We go to 5. If we draw a brick... Okay, they do this main phase. No need to do that, but it's probably fine. Teferi, nice. Okay, so let's play that. On board, we're going to 3, so we are going to burn range. Force of Negation. There we go. So now we are definitely ahead. We're going to go to 3, but we have Force of Negation up and we have Teferi, so we're very likely to find some more action soon. I don't think we have any more life gain in the deck with Oko and Hydroid Krasis gone, and Solitude. But hopefully we can just maintain at 3 and then close out the game. They send everything at us, so we will prevent as much damage as possible and fall to 3. Alright, drawing another land there is bad. Well, plus Reclamation Sage, okay. Not exactly a broken draw here, but it does let us give us a second blocker and kill the treasure. Now let's pass. And I'm in no rush here with the fairy in play. We just want to keep drawing cards. Three life is always scary against burn, but if you're going to be at 3, you want to have a Force of Negation in hand. Okay, Karizev into Ragavan. Karakas is putting in lots of work here. So they have no attacks. We're going to bounce the Karizev end of turn. And I think we just keep on plussing to Fairy. Venser, another good draw. Hierarch. Let's go Venser, bounce a token. And then we can untap our blue sources. And now I'm going to start swinging in the air. Take 5. And that's a 3-turn clock. They fall to 10, dead in 2 swings. I guess I'll play the Windswept Heath, but I'm not planning on cracking it. Untap 2 lands and pass. Oh man, we're getting close. We even have Karakas Venser, but we're going to be busy using Karakas on their creatures probably. Firebolt. Well, that would be lethal, so we need to use our Force of Negation. And it's relevant here that it exiles the Firebolt too, so they can't flash it back. That also would have let them return Bloodfeather Phoenix. Okay, do we want to Karakas bounce Karizev or Venser? I think Karizev. And now we are at the mercy of their top decks. If they rip a bolt off the top, but Queller, there we go. That seals the deal. We had Queller and Counterspell as draws that would slam the door shut here, and we do find it. There's the Triumph. Let's main phase cycle just in case we find some action. Boom! That is some action. Nice. So we get to Fiery Confluence, burn them out. Wow. I really did not think we were going to be able to stabilize this game. The Krasis was the key card, gaining us a bit of life, stabilizing the board, and then killing their Chandra. And then Karakas put in a lot of work to hold back their legendary creatures. Fiery Confluence, 6 damage each opponent. What a match. And what a league. We get a clean 6-0 sweep. That always feels good, especially when it's with this sort of deck. I just love these decks. Bant, 4-color Super Friends. We had Minsc and Boo, Chandra, both the fairies, Oko, lots of broken stuff. We had a surprisingly good counter magic suite for this sort of deck with Venser, Force of Negation, and Counterspell. We also had tons of ways to kill artifacts and enchantments with Reclamation Sage, Night of Autumn, and Pest Infestation. Some solid life gain with Krasis, Solitude, and Oko. 4 accelerants gave us some consistency there. A great mana base. Just a really solid and well-rounded deck. Yeah, we got basically every single card had its time in the sun. I guess Tireless Tracker and Ren Realmbreaker never did too much, but still, awesome league with a perfect result. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.